Priyanka Agarwal welcomes you all to our channel A to Z Softech. Here you will get educational videos related to NCERT subjects and technical subjects based on computer science. If you find our videos helpful to you, so please like and share the videos. Do subscribe the channel and hit the bell icon to get updates about new videos. To get more clarity on the topic, please watch the video till the end. Feel free to post your queries in the comment section below the video. You will get the link of data related to the video in the description box. You can find our video using hashtag NCERT by Priyanka ma'am or hashtag NCERT A to Z Softech. Now let's start with the topic. Hello, greetings to all. Today we are going to discuss Class 10 History, Chapter 2 Nationalism in India. So let's start. The First World War. The First World War played an important role in shaping India's freedom struggle and developing new modes of struggle in the following ways. First, increase in defense expenditure due to the war lead to the increase in taxes, custom duties, prices, and the introduction of war loans. Second, during the war, prices increased dramatically, which lead to extreme hardships, poverty, and forced recruitments in the army made people hostile to the British rule. Further, during 1980 to 1990 and 1920 to 1921, food shortage due to the failure of crops and influenza epidemic spread in many parts of India took a heavy toll of life that created resentment among the people of India against the foreign rule. Satyagraha. Gandhiji came back to India in 1915. He introduced a new powerful method of struggle called Satyagraha. Satyagraha means holding on to truth or truth force. It was a non-violent struggle introduced by Gandhiji in the Indian national movement. According to him, if the cause was true and if the fight was against injustice, then physical force was not necessary to fight. Hunger strikes, peaceful demonstration, strikes, and non-cooperation with the government are some methods of Satyagraha. First three Satyagraha movements organized by Gandhiji in India. In 1916, Gandhiji organized a Satyagraha against the oppressive plantation system in Champaran, and Champaran is in Bihar. In 1917, Gandhiji led a Satyagraha in Khera district of Gujarat, demanding relaxation of the revenue tax owing to the poverty experienced by the farmers because of the outbreak of plague and crop failure. Further, in 1918, Gandhiji organized a Satyagraha against the cotton mill worker in Ahmedabad. Now we will study the Rowlatt Act. In 1919, the Rowlatt Act was passed by the British government. This act gave the government enormous power of repressing political activities and allowed detention of political prisoners for 2 years without any trial. Further, aim of this act was to destroy the national movement by imprisoning the national workers. So it was a black law because it was against basic human rights. Opposition. On 6th April 1919, Gandhiji started the non-violent civil disobedience movement for opposing the Rowlatt Act with a nationwide hartal. Shops were closed, rallies were organized, and rail workshops workers went on strike. These protests lead to the Jallianwala Bagh massacre. Now, let's focus on Jallianwala Bagh massacre, 13th April 1919. A number of people had assembled at Jallianwala Bagh in Amritsar for attending the annual Baisakhi fair. General Dyer reached the place along with the British troops. He ordered the troops to fire. The firing lasted for nearly 10 minutes. More than 1,000 people were killed. Khilafat movement. It was a movement organized by Muhammad Ali and Shaukat Ali. The aim of this movement was to protest against the injustice done to Turkey by Britain after the First World War. So here our first part of this chapter ends. So keep learning and stay safe. Hello, greetings to all. Today we are going to start our part 2 class 10th history chapter 2, that is nationalism in India. So let's start. Non-cooperation movement. Non-cooperation was launched under Gandhiji's leadership in 1920. There were some causes behind this movement. So let's take a look what were that causes. First one was Rowlatt Act. The dissatisfaction from the Rowlatt Act and the failure of the Rowlatt Satyagraha. Jallianwala Bagh. The killing of hundreds of innocent people by the British at Jallianwala Bagh had made the Indian masses resentful towards the British rule. And the third one was Khilafat issue. It aimed to protest against the injustice done to Punjab and Turkey and to attain Swaraj. There were some methods by following them Indians were following non-cooperation movement that were surrendered government titles, boycott, civil services, army, police, courts and legislative councils, schools and foreign goods. If the British government used repression, a full civil disobedience campaigning would be launched. The movement in the towns. Steps taken. The students left government-controlled schools and colleges. Headmasters and teachers resigned. Also, lawyers gave up their legal practices and the council elections were boycotted. Further, Foreign goods were boycotted and foreign clothes burned in huge bonfires. Effect: the import of foreign cloth declined. Merchants and traders refused to trade in foreign goods or finance foreign trade. Also, production of Indian textile mills and handlooms went up. There were some obstructions faced by this movement, and they were: khadi cloth was more expensive than foreign cloth, and poor people could not afford to buy it. Also, Indian educational institutions were slow to come in place of the boycotted British ones. Movement in the villages. The peasants had to do beggar and work without pay in the farms of oppressive landlords. The peasant movement demanded reduction of revenue, abolition of beggar, and social boycott of oppressive landlords. In Awadh, the houses of talukdars and merchants were attacked. Local leaders told the peasants that Gandhiji had declared that no taxes were to be paid and land was to be redistributed among the poor. Baba Ramchandra in October 1920 set up the Audh Kisan Sabha with the help of Nehruji. Revolt by tribals. The government had closed large forest areas, preventing people from entering the forest to graze their cattle or to collect fuel, wood, and fruits. Alori Sitaram Raju led the guerrilla warfare in the Godam Hill of Andhra Pradesh. The rebels attacked police station, attempted to kill British officials, and carried on guerrilla warfare for achieving Swaraj. On February 1922, Mahatma Gandhi decided to withdraw the non-cooperation movement because of its violent phase in many places. Now, we will study Simon Commission. It was a statutory commission set up by the British under the chairman of Sir John Simon. It was asked to study the constitutional system of India and suggest suggestions. He arrived in India in 1928. Congress and the Muslim League, along with the other parties, received the commission with black flags and slogans such as "Go back, Simon." So here our second part of this chapter ends. Keep learning and stay safe. Thank you all. Now we will focus on effects of Simon Commission. December 1929, under the presidency of Jawaharlal Nehru, the Lahore session of Congress formalized the demand of Poon Swaraj. 26 January 1930 was declared as the Independence Day. In 1930, Dr. B. R. Ambedkar established the Depressed Classes Association. Civil Disobedience Movement. Gandhiji chose salt as the medium for protesting against the British rule as salt was something consumed by the rich and the poor alike, and it was one of the most essential items of food. On 31st January 1930, Gandhiji sent a letter to Viceroy Irwin stating 11 demands ranging from industrialists to peasants. The most important of the demands was the abolition of salt tax. The government was asked to accept the demands by 11th March or else a full civil disobedience campaign would be launched. Salt March marked the beginning of the civil disobedience movement. Mahatma Gandhi started his famous Salt March accompanied by 78 of his trusted volunteers. Started from Mahatma Gandhi's ashram in Sabarmati to the Gujarat coastal town of Dandi, spanning a distance of 240 miles. On 6th April 1930, Mahatma Gandhi reached Dandi with thousands of followers and formally violated the law by manufacturing salt from seawater by boiling it. Spread of civil disobedience movement. Soon the movement spread to the entire nation. Colonial laws were violated, salt was manufactured in numerous places and in front of government salt factories. Foreign clothes were burnt, peasants refused to pay revenue and chokidari taxes. Village officials resigned. Also, in many places, people violated forest law by going into reserve forest for collecting wood and graze cattle. Government's response. In April 1930, Abdul Ghaffar Khan was arrested. In May 1930, Gandhiji was arrested. Peaceful satyagrahis were attacked. Women and children were beaten by the government and about 1 lakh people were arrested. Gandhi Irwin Pact and End of Movement. On 5th March, Gandhiji called off the movement, entering into a pact with Viceroy Lord Irwin. He consented to participate in the Round Table Conference and the government agreed to release the political prisoners. Further, in December 1931, Gandhiji went to London for the second Round Table Conference. The conference held was unprofitable as nothing fruitful came out of it for India. So, relaunch of the movement. When Gandhiji returned from the Round Table Conference, he discovered that Ghaffar Khan and Jawaharlal Nehru were in jail. The Congress had been declared illegal and a series of procedures had been enforced to prevent meetings, demonstrations, and boycotts. With great apprehension, Mahatma Gandhi relaunched the civil disobedience movement in 1932, but by 1934 it lost momentum. Causes of failure of the movement. The civil disobedience movement was called off without the fulfillment of the demand of the rich peasant communities. When the movement was relaunched, Many people or many rich peasant communities decided not to join the civil disobedience movement. The Congress was unwilling to support the no rent campaigning due to the fear of upsetting the rich peasant and landlords. Industrial workers did not participate in the civil disobedience movement except in Nagpur. Also, the Dalits did not participate as the Congress sided with the conservative high caste Hindus. The spread of militant activities, growing influence of socialism amongst the young Congress members, and the failure of the Round Table Conference lead to the withdrawal of support to the movement by the business class. Also, Muslim organizations and communities also sparsely participated in the movement. The Muslim turned off from the movement due to the fear of the dominance of the Hindu majority. So these were some reasons because of which the movement, that is civil disobedience movement, failed. So here our chapter ends. Now keep revising and stay safe. Thank you all.